Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our weekly live show. I am Fabiana Claure, pianist and business strategist for musicians. And today we are going to discuss email marketing to drive sales in your music business. If you are new to my world, welcome. This is our weekly live show where I come in and add new trainings to support the communities of musicians around the world in thriving and building businesses that can help them create aligned lifestyles and not only create financial prosperity, but also bring in creative prosperity, creativity into the work they get to do every single day. So you are in the right place if you are a musician who wants to learn how you can actually drive your profitability in your business through leverage and not having to continue trading your time for money and overworking and under earning. So say hello in the chat if you're watching me live. I would love to know where you are joining me from. I know this is going on multiple platforms. Yay for technology. So let me know your name. If you're in the chat, I can say hello. And what are your main questions related to email marketing in your music business? Let's talk about why you want to be a pro at email marketing and why email is your number one asset to leverage as you build your music business. When you create content on other platforms such as social media or any other website, you will have a limited reach because it will always be based on an algorithm and whether or not the algorithms are going to make you visible in front of the eyes of your clients and whether or not it's actually going to be something that they'll be able to access and even see on their feed. So typically, when you create content online, 10% of your audience will actually see it. However, when you build your email list, when you have a way of capturing the information of the people in your community and have a direct line of communication through sending emails back and forth, you now have complete control over the visibility of your content. And yes, of course, there's spam filters and your emails can end up in the junk folders, etc. You have a lot more opportunities to create a two-way conversation and to build over the long term your audience versus simply relying on your likes and followers on social media. Social media is a fantastic outlet for clicking a button and being in immediate conversations with the world. So I think there's great things about the benefits of social media, but you cannot rely only on creating an audience on social media. You must commit to creating your own online community through building your email list. So this is something that if you are creating an online business has become really well established. It's like it's a fact. You want to make sure that you are not just creating an audience online, but you're building your internal like list of followers through accessing their emails. So let's talk about how you can leverage email marketing in your business and understand the ways in which you can grow your email base, right? When I started my online business, I had no email list, of course. This was back in early 2020. And I just had a series of email contacts, people in my contacts, in my email address, which is not the same as an email list. When you have an email list, you have people who have subscribed to some sort of freebie that you offered or some sort of service, or maybe they've opted in into booking a call with you. And as a result of that, they've agreed to be a part of your email marketing campaigns, so to speak. This is not the same as if they're just contacts you have in your email database, so to speak. So when you are now in the process of wanting to say, okay, how do I build my email list? What are some of the steps I can get started? And why we already established why it matters, right? Why is it important for you to have control over your audience and be able to control the communication and have those emails and not rely only on the visibility of social media and what the algorithms are going to offer you? So we established that, but let's talk about how you start building that. The best way that I recommend when you know you want to start creating your own community is to be of service, to add value, to create conversations in your content that could draw people to taking that next step, whether it's opting in into some sort of a freebie, a resource that you may want to offer. This can be something you can put together in a very simple way, like a PDF or a video, something that you believe will help your audience better understand what you are about. And the type of work that you're doing. It does not have to be extremely elaborate, but it's great to have some sort of a resource that people can put their emails in exchange for that information. And in the process of doing so, they're now part of your email list. So that's the first step, is making sure you have something to offer that would entice people to want to sign up for your email list and be a part of that community, right? But most importantly, once they are in your community, there's next steps that you have to take as well, which are very important, because if you have an email list but you're not nurturing that email list on a regular basis, then it's going to become stale and it's not actually going to become an asset in your business. But if you take a proactive approach and you decide that when people come into your email list, they will experience a certain sequence of emails, they will receive some materials, um, and you can, map out a journey for them to see things as they come into your ecosystem, and build a sequence of events that will allow them to feel warmed up to your, proposal, to your value proposition, to everything that you are about, right? So maybe this is a series of introductory messages that you can schedule out automatically to have these sent to the people that come into your world and receive over the course of a few days, maybe 1, 2, 3 messages that you can program these automatically, right? And by the way, when you're getting into more of the weeds of building your email marketing campaigns, my recommendation is that you don't try to do it yourself. I am an advocate for delegation and strategic offloading of the technical things that are not necessarily in your wheelhouse. And for most musicians, we're not really trained in driving these email technical things and just setting all of the sequences around and all of these things. So my recommendation is that don't think you need to do this. What I'm sharing with you today are some high level strategies, and philosophy, most importantly, but not necessarily the technical how to's, because I recommend that instead of you learning it, you find someone who can help you do it for you, right? And if you need any more help in terms of figuring out how you could find the right, points of support, and where you could find these types of people, then you can just reach out to me, of course, and we can always have a conversation and explore specifically what you need for your business. But coming back to the idea of when people come into your ecosystem, they need to experience something that will allow them to grow into this next level of trust and awareness around what you do. And so a great way to do that is by designing a few sequences of emails that they can receive maybe over the course of the first few days that they are in there. Or if you have already someone on your team who can help you with prospecting and just nurturing of your audience, it would be a good idea for you to create a system where when people come in to your ecosystem, they opt into whatever freebie you have, whatever resource you've created, that someone reaches out to them. And initially it can be you. It's literally not a bad thing for you to be willing to reach out to people who raise their hand, who say, yes, I'd like to download your resource. I'd like to listen to your video, to your podcast, whatever it is. And for you to reach out and be able to start a conversation very organically by simply desiring to serve and to know, okay, what are you looking for? What are you trying to achieve in your music development and whatever it is they're trying to do? And just asking questions around what are they like, what prompted them to download that resource, right? Why did this person raise their hand and say, yeah, I'm interested in this thing? Maybe they're looking for something that what you're offering could help them. So it's a great resource in just having a mechanism of just starting a conversation, frankly, and not having to overthink it, right? So this is one of the things that, when you think about building email marketing campaigns, it's easy to get into the weeds of it and make it extremely technical and detached from the actual person that you're bringing in, because you wanted to build a lot of automations and sequences. And while I'm all in favor of efficiency and building automations, don't forget that there's nothing wrong with just picking up the phone, right? Ideally, when you do capture people's emails in these types of opt-in forms, you also want to get a telephone number. So it's not just an email address, but also a phone number. There's nothing wrong with like literally picking up the phone and reaching out and saying, hey, I saw you downloaded this resource, and I'm curious what piqued your interest. What are you trying to achieve? I'd like to maybe point you to some extra resources that I could send your way. I just need to know more about what you are trying to achieve. And literally starting a conversation through that just point of connection, right? So there's so many ways that you can monetize your email list in your business quickly without needing to reach 5,000 email subscribers or 10,000 email subscribers, one at a time. Now, when you do conversion events, for example, when you present a webinar or a 5-day masterclass or anything like that, that is a great way to also build your email list, because everyone that opts in into those things, they become part of your email community. You can also create like a summit. I remember one of the first things that I did as I was in my first year building my online business is I presented a summit, and I was able to, connect with musicians in many different realms in the industry, and bring their community into my world, and significantly grow my list, and at the same time expand the message of what I wanted to share in their own communities, right? So collaborating with other people, and exchanging audiences is another great way to create more awareness in terms of your community and email marketing strategy, right? So I'm sharing all these strategies to show you that there is no one size fits all in this process. Like, you can do this in many different ways, but the most important thing is that you approach it almost with the same degree of personalization and customization that you would in a real life environment. If you are in a group, in a conference, let's say, and you're surrounded by people, chances are when you start conversations, you would do it gradually. You would just be curious. You would want to ask questions, right? You would want to know more about the people in that room. Well, the same thing happens in your email list. When people come in, you want to talk to them. You want to actually start a conversation so that you can better understand what drew them to your content, why they decided to download this thing, and what are they actually looking for. And of course, it helps that you have an offer, right? Because if you don't have an offer and you're just building an email list without a clear, back end opportunity for these people, then you're wasting an opportunity too. And I actually have seen that a lot. People build email lists, they create awareness, but they don't have anything to actually offer. So they're, even if the people are looking for something, sometimes musicians just don't have anything. They don't have anything put together, right? So this is very important because it's so related to being able to create, a business that thrives without you having to be working day in and day out, and at the same time doing it in a way that is from a place of service, that feels that you are serving, you're being of value to your community, right? So this week we are actually expanding an opportunity for everyone in our community so that you can also learn how you can grow your music business, and look at the options to monetize the people in your world, in a way that is from service organically, and not having to feel pushy, not having to feel salesy, but instead learning how to build your own brand, your message, having that clarity around the offer you want to ultimately provide to these people, and learning how to ultimately invite them into your world. This is a 3-month amazing coaching opportunity that we are offering to our audience, where when you come in, you can work with me and my team and helping you map out 4 essential steps to define your offer, to create your brand, to understand how to ultimately sell this from a place of service and integrity, and then building a marketing engine. So we are offering a very amazing opportunity and a special discount that expires in the next 24 hours. So if you are new to our world and you're just watching this, I want to encourage you to check out musiciansclientroadmap.com, where you can learn all about this 3-month incubator program that can be your catalyst in growing your music business. So I look forward to hearing from you. I hope that this training has given you some ideas. And of course, if you would like to look into working with us any further, you can simply go to musiciansclientroadmap.com and see the amazing opportunity and discounts we're offering for anyone who may want to start in our 3-month container this week. Okay. Thank you for watching, everyone, and let's prosper together. Take care.